The following content is intended for a mature audience only. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Boom, boom. We're on British Bears, coming to you from another land. The British Bears Show, another kind of fan. Bears fans all day, Bears fans all night, 365 days, 5,000 miles away. Hey, hey, hey! The British Bears, the Irish Bears, the German Bears, the Polish Bears. Wait, what? We are Bears. We are Bears. We are Bears fans. The British Bears. The British Bears. Welcome to the British Bears.
Welcome to the British Bears Show. And now your hosts, C-Dub and Jason UK Bears.
Well, thank you very much, Walter Payne, for that nice intro. Well, welcome to the British Bears Show after a bit of a disappointment on Sunday. I hope everybody's got over the emotional turmoil of that game and the disappointment. But I still feels a lot. Have you not got over it yet, Dave? Are you still unhinged and down?
I'm pissed off.
I'm pissed off still as well. If I had something to hit like a dog, I would have hit it, but I wouldn't have done, obviously. But welcome to the show, guys. It was such a disappointing game, wasn't it, Ray? Well, what disappointing, it was a great game to watch for the neutral, but as for a Bears fan, it were hard going, especially in the first half. My name's Chris Watts. This side, this is Dave. And further on that side is Jason. How are you doing, Dave?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I think there's a bit of a pandemic going down south of England, isn't there, Jason? Everyone seems to have man flu at the moment. So, but we're doing all right. And I thought the Bears might make me feel a bit better on Sunday, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And how are you, Jason?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm feeling better than I was yesterday. Like I said, I had a bit of a bug that was going around. I felt really crap yesterday. Muddled through the show with Greg Gabriel and Shorty. But much better today. Got over the emotional shock. It was just the way it ended, wasn't it? It was actually quite a good game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always a bit of a shitter losing to the Packers, isn't it? Because just because it's them. But ultimately, you got to look at the big picture. We'll talk about that now, won't we? So I'm feeling fairly positive actually.
Good. I mean, obviously, this flu is down to you lot being soft Southerners. We don't have viruses up north because it's so hard. We whack viruses in the face and tell them to fuck off back down south. Oh, we can't afford it. We can't afford the medication, mate. You know what I mean? If we had viruses up north like that, we'd be wiped out. I'm telling you, try to cure it by eating Yorkshire pudding and shit. But yeah, let's crack on about the game. The Chicago Bears lost the game 21-28 to the Green Bay Packers. Do you want to give a shout to the chat? Sorry, yes. Jess, I always get to do that, mate.
That's all right, mate. No, you didn't. You remembered now. So yeah, it's some of the usual crew are in already. Shorty popped in early. I don't know if he's still listening. We'll be at work. Evie's there. Armando is there. Squeegee is in the house. Armando, Squeegee, Evie. Brommy Bear is here, of course. Hello, Brommy. See you there. Still waiting for you to send an email to get on the show, mate. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Brommy.
And yeah, that's everyone that's showed up so far in the chat. Anyone else is listening, welcome. Welcome to British Bears. Let's go.
Cool, right then, let's rock and roll, man. Let's crack on with this game. Let's start with the offensive side, and we'll start with the most polarising figure in it seems to be in NFL, Caleb Williams, at the moment. He went for 19 out of 35, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Dave, what were your thoughts about Caleb's performance on Sunday?
Well, I think the game all week, even for us fans, has been bubbling, and we've been quite excited about it. And Green Bay fans, they turned up. Green Bay Packers players turned up. And at the beginning, the Bears didn't turn up. And I just thought, oh, here we go. After all this emotional build-up, we're going to bottle it. But last year, we would have bottled it. But this year, Caleb managed to turn it around slightly. So I think I'll be honest. I'll say the first half performance, the whole team was rather disappointing. Yeah. But the second half, world class.
Oh, brilliant. What about yourself, Jason?
Yeah, again, accuracy issues showing up, but escapability, throwing on the run. He made some incredible throws again, didn't he? The one to Cole Kmet, man, down the sideline was just epic. And then obviously the touchdown to Zacchaeus as well was pretty special. I've got a stat for that later.
Awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, again, it's a game of 2 hours, wasn't it? We were just looking just flat as hell. Just nothing going on offensively first half. And then just, turned it around second half, massively made some changes and just showed up. The run game was a different class second half as well, wasn't it? But yeah, Caleb was all right. He ran the game okay. Same issues. Makes spectacular stuff. Escapability was incredible. We were all worried about Micah Parsons. The grand total of the game was 1 tackle and 2 quarterback hits.
Yeah.
So obviously they got a lot of talent when they did around on that defense. I think they spent I think something like 10 of their starting 11 defenders are first round picks and stuff. So they are a good side.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, as much as we hate admitting it, they're a fucking good team, especially their defense. Yeah. So yeah, it's game of 2 hours, wasn't it? Really, just disappointing to start, but nearly pulled it out at the end. Yeah, just unlucky.
Yeah. I mean, I was really surprised how sort of flat we came out on offense, in the first half. We didn't seem to have any juice, and the offensive line just wasn't getting the sort of blocks that they were doing the previous week against the Eagles, especially on the running game. Apart from when Monongai hit that linebacker and took half his helmet off. That was fucking awesome, man.
Oh,
that is a running back. That is a running back, my man. You know what I mean? And I've watched that numerous times just to sort of cheer myself up today. And you see that little bit of plastics going ping.
Yeah, his helmet shot off. Man, what a fucking hit. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to next, is seeing the Coleman Lungai try and take someone else's head off. That was just and fair play to him for not being out of the game, man. I'm surprised he didn't just check him for a concussion. He blasted him, didn't he?
I mean, he got absolutely blasted by Monongai, and I think our offensive lineman completely flew into him as well and put him on his back. But yeah, with Caleb, my sort of thinking is that he was quite rushed in the first half. I think he needs to sort of stay in the pocket a bit more, because I was watching a few guys on 670 The Score. They had Wanstead on, the former Bears coach, and they're on about that. Obviously, Caleb seemed to be rolling out to his right a lot. And the trouble is, obviously, he had to do that sometime because they had a pass rush on him. But he did a lot of rollouts to the right, and the trouble with doing that a lot is that it cuts the field down by half for the amount of receivers he can see. So that was like a little bit disappointing. But it's like you said, Jace, like the second half. He
was under a huge amount of pressure, though. The amount of
pressure, yes, very much so. Yeah,
it was not the best performance from our O-line in pass protection. But say he was having to run away from quite a lot of that, and I think they deliberately did a lot of rollouts as well to try and sort of move away from the on-rushing defenders. But yeah, he was under a lot of pressure.
I think also having Tom Brady in the commentary box really gave a really good insight into the quarterback and what he's looking at. Yeah. And what Chris just said, even Brady mentioned it a couple of times where he was going out to the right a little bit, and it just narrowed the options where he could throw the ball. So having Brady in the commentary box was marvellous. So I really enjoyed that, actually.
Yeah, I completely agree, Dave, and I think he's getting better as a pundit as well. But the thing is, as well, like when he talks quarterback, you want to listen to Tom Brady because he's probably one of the best quarterbacks who's ever played. So,
now, at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. But, like, obviously what he says has got a lot of clout because he's been there, done it, and been one of the best. I just thought, he had a lot of pressure on him. He's still missing them easy throws, which is so annoying because it's like Jason said, that amazing throw he made to Cole Kmet down the sideline, which was just amazing. I mean, that I nearly jumped through my TV. I mean, I was texting you guys and all that. That was just amazing. And also the touchdown pass as well were just, like Tom Brady said, there's only a couple of guys who could actually make that throw. And how he just managed to zip it in through the defender's arms to scare us were just something to marvel at. But I just thought the second half, the running game really helped him. We got the running game going. And he did start putting the game on his shoulders, I thought. I mean, at the start of the second half, we were making a lot of throws and making completions. I think we had sort of 3 out of the 4 drives we had in the second half we scored on. So, like a massive turnaround from the first half. But, the Bears, we didn't help themselves, did they, really, in the first half, especially with, things like, the kicker kicks it goes out of bounds, so we give the Packers the start the 40-yard line. That really fucking fucked us up right before.
You mentioned that. I was going to talk about that in special teams. Brommy mentioned it. Yeah. I made a note of that one, some of the sort of key notes from the game, and that was that. What on earth? He totally screwed that kick up, didn't he? He just what happened there. It's just, I don't know.
Well, he's supposed to be doing one of these so-called dirty kicks. I don't really. Is that what the kick it's over? Try and get it to bounce a few times before it goes to the guy what's going to catch it? Is that the idea?
Yeah, it's trying to, like they did last week. He sort of, it's almost like a grubber in it. You just get it into the landing zone, bobblings, and it just makes it more difficult for I guess they're trying something different when we're sort of giving up quite a few yards on special teams coverage, on kick coverage. So I guess he's trying to just sort of slow down the returner for a few more seconds before he's got to corral the ball and gives us time to get down the field. But maybe that's what it is. But yeah, he definitely fucked that right up, didn't he?
So, Dave, what were your thoughts about the final play of the game? I love to know your guys, because this is what everybody's been talking about. What he should have done. Should he have seen him? Should he have done that? What were your thoughts?
Well, obviously, a bit of disappointment, but the drive that we got there to get ourselves in that position. And I was listening to Ben Johnson, I think it was either today on a press conference, because obviously there were questions about the times, what do we have, 3 minutes to go, something like that?
Management at the end.
Yeah, and we let the clock run down for that one, but that was all part of the master plan apparently, because obviously the offense for the Packers are on pretty good form. So Ben Johnson was basically saying we're going to run the clock down, get our touchdown, and then that doesn't give the Packers any time to respond. So I sort of but I think it was the play before. Was it 3-1 and we mucked it up?
Yeah.
Have I got that right? Maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
And me personally, I just think because they didn't get that 1 yard, then I think they decided to throw it because we were running out of time. We had to get it in the end zone. So, bit of disappointment. Komet was pretty wide open, wasn't he? So he was there to be hit.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of sort of pundits sorry, Jason, a lot of pundits just said, look, if Caleb would have thrown that ball 10th of a second earlier, then Komet would have got it, because they'd actually made a bit of a fuck up their defensive backs on coverage, the Green Bay guys did. But also as well, though, that, because when I watched it live, I kept thinking, well, just run, get the first down, run. But I've seen it from different angles, and he probably would have got, caught, tackled before he would have got the first down. And also everybody keeps going, oh, well, how come we didn't see DJ Moore open? Well, to throw that ball, he would have had to literally sort of spin 180 degrees and throw it sort of in an incredibly, unimaginable angle. And he just wouldn't have seen the guy because he was quite
through two defenders. Because the people that have been sharing that picture on social media about, DJ was wide open, the ball's on its way already. Because there's another half to a second that passes by when those two defenders break onto Caleb, because it's clear he's not going to go that way. And then Moore's in that space. So it's just like a little picture used to sort of prove something that wasn't actually there. So I think that was actually a decent play. It was a copy of the one that Komet had on against the Eagles.
That's right, yeah.
And it can just be that And I totally get the view of running the ball. Yeah, that would have been a perfectly excellent play in the play call. You need a few inches to just do it again. But then the thing is, they knew that's coming. So I guess I see why they did the pass, and they had the three options. It was the Caleb run with it, but again there was two players sort of closing down. So again, when you look at the still of the play again, it's actually not guaranteed he would have made it to the first down marker. Certainly not without getting hit as well. So, and then Swift was kind of covered fairly. I think even if thrown it really early, then they could have led Swift into that, to the sideline and got the first down. It's just timing. He just threw it late. He didn't pick up the read early enough on Swift, and then just didn't throw it quite early enough because the defender Nixon he he made up a lot of ground. So
he did.
If Caleb would put the ball in the corner, he just underthrew it. He just underthrew that ball in that clutch moment. Yeah. For once, he didn't come through. So, I get it. It's so frustrating, but there's no point sort of being all revisionist and going, well, they should have done something else. Well, then if it works, you say brilliant play call. We won the game. Well done. So I mean, it's like you can't have
be both ways, can you?
You can't be yourself. Yeah, you have to be honest with yourself about kind of what actually happened. So they played it. The Packers played it pretty well. To be fair, they played that play fairly well. They got coverage fairly quickly. The defender who got the interception made up ground very fast. And if Caleb had thrown it just a fraction earlier, that he would have got it, or right into the corner, a bit more height on it. But yeah, it is what it is. I can see why they did it. It would have, 1 week it works, the next week it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, but I'm just looking at the positives. The fact that we took the Packers to the wire, and some of the pundits are nailing them on for a Super Bowl already. So, we run them close again, didn't we? So we're a good team. They're a good team. Let's see what they've got in 2 weeks' time. Yeah,
I mean, I think we're the only team so far this season what scored over 20 points at Lambeau Field.
Stop it! Stop stealing my stuff.
Oh, sorry, old boy. I didn't know that one of your stats.
I'll do it now. The Bears. This was going to be one of them, but I didn't know whether I'd mix it into the chat. But we are the first team to visit Lambeau Field this season and get over 300 yards offense and score 20 points or more. And overall, that's the fifth most points and yardage they've let up in any game this season. So that's the most they've conceded in points and yards at Lambeau. So, we're doing something right. We just didn't come through on the clutch play. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, I think Caleb really took ownership of the game sort of in the second half because we got the running game going and we were gassing them as well. Like I remember, they showed passes off the sideline. They were fucked.
They were blowing, man. Yeah,
they were blowing hard. You know what I mean? And we had them in the second half. We had them right on the rack, and that's what sport's about. It's just it can go either way any moment in time, and I think. All right, we all hate losing to the Packers, but I think that shows a lot. I think if that had been last year, there's no way we would have scored them points in the second half and fought back if it would have been a Euflus's regime.
Down, no way.
No way, man. And to take them right to the wire at their place, looking back 2 days after, I'm proud of it, man. You know what I mean? I'm proud of it. I don't feel like I said last week, I'm not scared of Green Bay anymore. And neither are the Bears, you know what I mean? And it'd be so interesting to see what alterations to make when we play them in, week on Saturday, I believe. And I think we'll beat them at Soldiers Field. Anything more about Caleb you'd like to bring up, fellas?
I just think personally, the fact that the first half was a disaster. And it was, and it could have continued to be a disaster. Now, this interview I heard with Ben Johnson, the reporters asked him what changes he made. He said, we didn't make any changes for the second half. He goes, we stuck to the game plan. So for me, that's quite an encouragement. And I just think Caleb... He's still got the wow factor, man, and the fact that we went from that disastrous first half to what we nearly took them, we nearly had it, and I think because we've had so many exciting finishes the last few weeks, and that would have been the cherry, the icing, everything on the cake for that one. If we could have just got some, it would have been, and you know what, it's we all effed and blind and had a bit of Tourette's afterwards, but. Fuck me, our boys put a fantastic performance and nothing was left on the field. And, you got your players that, well, we'll talk about it later. They just gave everything for the Bears, and I'm proud of them. But am I disappointed? Of course I fucking am. We lost.
Yeah. I mean, I think as well is that we completely I think we out physicaled. I don't know if that's a fucking word, man, but we were definitely more physical than them in the second half. Like our offensive line really took it to their defense, and it's like you say, Dave. It shows a sign of character, but it shows how well the coach and also as well how much competitors are on that team. I was really sort of impressed with how the offensive line rebounded from that poor first half showing, really, especially the running game, because obviously the game before against the Eagles, we were running for fun. Do you know what I mean? And it was so sort of straight. We just seemed to be so flat coming out on offense, and it was a bit disappointing, man. You know what I mean? It was just really disappointing, but we'll move on to the rushing attack. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, do you think that is the best defence line we're going to come up against for the rest of the season?
I think it's probably the best defence we've played all year, definitely, and probably who we got. Yeah, probably. I think they're better. Their defence is. I think the top 4 out of their defence. Is that right, Jason? Is that? Am I right there?
The Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely up there.
Yeah, but definitely. I'm
top
sure
5.
They're definitely. So you're talking about they've got a lot of speed. You see, I think that's the best overall defence I've seen our offence go up against all season. Just with the speed of how they can get side to side of the tackling, but yeah, it just sucks, man. Because it was Green Bay. It's Green Bay, and also as well, it was sort of. I mean, it just felt so. I mean, it just felt different, didn't it? Like when we were talking last week, we felt like this game actually both teams are in a position where this game matters. Usually it's either one team's doing well and the other team's doing shit when they play against each other. And I just thought, we beat the fucking Eagles, man. We'll go to Green Bay. We'll smack them in the face and beat them. You know what I mean? And it's so lucky I wasn't there, because I would have been definitely thrown out through that game if I were in crowd. I started chanting, "The Bears still suck." That would have got me fucking boiling. I'm telling you. So luckily I was like 4,500 miles away, stuck in England, because I probably would have been arrested and deported.
The thing is, though, we've got to remember is this time last year we were 4-9.
Exactly.
So, and this year we're 9-4. So we're playing meaningful football in December. And we're going to talk about this in a bit, like when we talk about next week and what's coming up. But it's still in our hands. It's still in our hands entirely. So
we've won 9 out of his last 11 games. When was the last time we could say that about a Bears team?
Exactly. So yeah, some good comments and some just showing there. Like we are, we are on the up. The season's been unbelievable, as Bromley says. Talking about a last play loss against the Green Bay at their gaff with them on the ropes. Yeah. We are real, and we'll continue to get better with this head coach. Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's what a lot of the Caleb chat is about. It's been impatience. People need to just calm the fuck down. It's like, well, if our defense had been healthy all year, we're talking about a very different situation. Yeah. But it is what it is. It's 3 phases of the game you've got to play, and they're not all clicking at once. And we're still doing well. We're still the great coaching we've been exhibiting. We're still right up there. We're still in with a massive chance, a great chance. So,
sorry, Jason. I thought, I think when we did our sort of predictions for the year, I was sort of going 10-7, 9-8, and we've already got 9 wins already, and we've still got 4 or 5 games left. So they've sort of exceeded my sort of 5 games. 4, 5. I
can't remember. Well, we're 9-4, so there's 4 games left. We're 9-4, 13 games played, 4 to go.
Yeah. So, they're sort of exceeding my expectations, already this year. But we'll move on to the running backs, man. Swift got 13 carries, 63 yards. Manon Guy, the helmet wrecker, he had 14 for 15.
No, did he?
Yards. Not a good advert for Riddell helmets, were it, that? But what were your thoughts, Dave, about the Russian attack?
Well, there wasn't as many gaps as there was against the Phillies.
Definitely not.
God, those boys, they, like I say earlier, they would run through a brick wall on Sunday. They were fantastic. The small little routes that were going in and out, they were ducking and diving, but they were blocked quite quickly. But I just like I don't know. Even when he gets hit, like Monongo and Swift, when they get hit, they still manage to creep another couple of yards out of it.
Yeah.
And I can't fault them whatsoever. They were absolutely amazing.
Yeah. What were your thoughts, Jason?
Yeah, 138 yards on the ground, so that's not bad against this defense. Yeah, it wasn't as spectacular as last week. We were getting spoiled, aren't we? Let's say that was last week. We had 100 yards of rushing before contact, another 150 after contact. For the second time in the season that's been done, and both times by the Bears. So we're doing stuff that no one else is doing, man, on the ground. So we should be pleased with that. Yeah, they had a good game, didn't they? I think they were sort of around 4.1, 4.6 average, I think it was overall. So, yeah, decent. They just didn't get it going in the first half. You know, Packers had a plan, managed to stifle our run game a little bit, but they kept at it. And like I say, they eventually it sort of took its toll. I think there were a lot of the games and plays in the first half where they're almost setting that up, and that's what you know, isn't it? You get their defense on the field, you start running at them, and the plays that are sort of 2 or 3 yards in the first half will become 4, 5, 6, 7 in the second half as you start to gas them out. But overall, solid, I think. Yeah, good, decent running performance. But we're getting spoilt, so that's probably why we think it wasn't so good.
I like the dynamics between the two backs. I like how they both got a different skill set, and I think the first half the offensive line just wasn't giving them any holes. They wasn't getting a push. But like Monongai, man, I can remember one play he got hit and he was sort of in the air and he managed to sort of spin around and then get land on his feet and then get another 2-3 yards. You know what I mean? Because he's got such a low center of gravity.
His contact balance is incredible. Yeah, his contact balance.
I mean, that was something you were always going on about him when we drafted him.
Yeah.
I remember Jason at the start of the season, but. Yeah, I just like the dynamic, the different styles they've got. I think both running backs ran really hard. They just didn't really get much of a chance in the first half with their defensive line sort of really showing up. We'll move on to the receivers. Burden the third, he got 4 for 67. Komet got 2 for 42. Loveland got 4 for 29 yards and a tutty. Sekeris got 2 for 7 yards and 1 touchdown. And this is apparently the big hot topic. DJ Moore.
Evie mentioned it.
DJ Moore, 1 catch for -4 yards. That's even worse than when I used to play. What were your thoughts, Jason, about the receiving core and also about this sort of partially developing story about apparently the rift between Caleb and DJ Moore, which I don't believe in at all. But what were your thoughts about the receivers, mate?
I can see a situation where maybe DJ will get a little bit fed up with it, but I'm not going to buy into it too much at the minute. You get all these sort of social media sort of campaigns take hold, don't they, and it starts getting some legs. But a lot of it's just clickbait and the media. I guess there'll be some there'll be something going on. He'll feel how he feels about it from having some of his best seasons. I think this will be his worst season he's had in his career. DJ, that's what he's heading for. And you're right, he didn't get used much. 1 target for -4 yards. 1 catch for -4 yards on 3 targets. And I think they used him once in the run game, didn't they? Or did they? No, they didn't.
Yeah, they got clobbered.
No, not at all. They didn't. That was Luther Burden. Yeah, but maybe it doesn't fit in Ben Johnson's scheme, but he's a yak monster, man. I think it's Evie says it there. He's not using him properly. Does it really hurt the team? I guess maybe it can, but I think Johnson's going to sort of create his scheme and get the players to sort of adapt to that, isn't he? I know he uses the talents of his players, but I can see a situation where maybe they do move on for him, but he's got such a massive contract. He's an absolute number 1 receiver. I think, in the right system, he's shown that he's incredibly talented. And I would be sad to see him go, but they've stacked the weapons on offense. But.
I mean, I'm a little bit like this about DJ Moore because last year he really fucked me off, especially that play when he just walked off halfway through play and Caleb rolling to his side, and if he'd actually stayed on the field, he might have got a catch. Do you know what I mean? But he just walked off, didn't he? I just don't like how he pouts. And I know that's what wide receivers are about. They've got big egos and they want the ball all the time. But I think what hurt sort of DJ Moore was the lot of the rolling out what Caleb had to do. Like we mentioned at the start of the show, you're cutting down half the field. So if DJ Moore's on your left and then you're rolling out to the right, unless he's doing a crossing pattern or a post, then you're not going to see him. Do you know what I mean? But also as well, we don't know what Caleb's reads are. Is DJ Moore, he might be like Caleb's second or third read on a certain player. Yeah. But I mean, he is good, but I don't think he's irreplaceable. And maybe because we didn't have Roma Dunze playing, maybe that might have changed the chemistry a little bit. You know what I mean? Made it a little bit different on Sunday. But I just think his attitude sucks sometimes, DJ Moore. I really do. I just think he pouts. I mean, you would be pissed off if that's the only catch you've got. And like you said, Jason, he's not having the best stats season, but he's on a winning team. He come from Carolina, where they didn't win jack shit. Do you know what I mean? And he came over here, his first couple of seasons was shit. So, really, he should just be happy for the success of the team and, and what it's going to bring. But, yeah, I mean, I've read some stuff on social media, people going, oh, yeah, trade DJ Moore for Miles Garrett. I'm thinking, are you people fucking us idiots? Do you know what I mean? Like, as if that's a trade that would never happen. Do you know what I mean? That's such an unbalanced trade. But, my thoughts about the receivers were, it was great to see Burden get the ball. Loveland, I think he's absolutely blossoming now. I think he's really, they're really sort of getting him into the offense and having some good players for him. I thought Komet's catch from that awesome throw from Caleb were brilliant down the right sideline. And Skaris, he dropped quite a few on her this year. And, that catch were awesome what he made in the end zone in the corner. But, yeah, people keep going on, they're not getting the chemistry between Caleb and DJ Moore, but, he has got him in, he has used him in. I can't see him standing there going, I'm not going to throw to DJ Moore. Can you? No, I just think it's just how the play's developing, and he's just either not seeing him or, it's not his initial read.
And also, I think with Rome being out, the Packers will have concentrated on DJ Moore, being that he becomes the number one receiver. So maybe he wasn't open very much. Again, without looking at the All-22, knowing what the reads are, what the calls are, I don't sort of subscribe to this kind of view that, he's his attitude's not good or whatever, because everything you see from him, he's a solid pro. Maybe it's just not working out at the moment. And sometimes that happens, And there are so many weapons, there's so many players available. He had 3 targets, which is the same as Komet. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I think I'm not going to worry about that in a minute.
I'm not. I think also, that particular game on Sunday, we all thought it was going to be the running game. So I wasn't expecting too much from the guys, to be honest with you. And then, and DJ, he can't really be moaning because they must have known we were going to play the running game. And so I can't see, and that's what pisses me off with the internet. People or reporters, they're trying to fill news. And if they're trying to create a rift between DJ Moore and, we've got a similar situation over here, haven't we, with Liverpool with Mo Salah. Now, sometimes are these players making these noises to make a move? Don't know. And if you say DJ's on big money, maybe he's looking for another way out. But I hope he's not, because I like him. But he can be a little bit of a princess sometimes.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that could be another way that he goes is because of his contract. Because we're starting to get up against the cap now with some of the contracts we've handed out. So it could be a way to free up some money. But I don't know. I'm not worrying about that right now, to be honest. I'm attached to the Ben Johnson psyche of going 1-0 this week, and that's all I care about now.
Yeah, that's the best way of doing it as well, mate. I mean,
to be honest with you, the Bears, the way they're playing at the moment, won't have any problems attracting new players.
Yeah. No, I mean, my sort of thoughts as well. Like even before the start of the season, I thought, well, DJ Moore's not going to get big stats because, like you said, Jason, we've got all these other weapons.
Too many mouths to feed.
Know what I mean? And the best quarterbacks feed it out to whoever's open or they want to spread the ball about. So I didn't think you were going to be over 1,000 yards receiving because we got so many other weapons and also, we're concentrating on the running game. But I just think he pouts a bit. And it was just like he just left a bad taste in my mouth when he did that play last year. I just thought that was unforgivable. If I'd been his head coach, I'd have had him by the fucking neck going, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
You're not. And I think,
Well,
I think
not,
he was also injured, wasn't he? I think he was injured.
no, that's bollocks, mate. He came
Whatever.
on about a couple of days
I'm not
later.
having a discussion with you.
I'm Mike Dictor style, mate. I'm none of this fucking pussy.
Game's moved on. You can't treat people like that anymore, mate. That's not how it works. These are adults now. You can't treat them like that. But anyway,
I'm old school, mate.
Talking about the receivers, I just want to give a shout out to Devin Duvernay, man. He was on the field for one offensive play. That was his one offensive snap. That 24-yard catch on the final drive down the sideline. Awesome. Great play. Yeah. That was his only snap on offense all game, and he made it count, didn't he, that boy?
Yeah, because he's usually just a special team guy, isn't he? Well, I mean, we got over 315. Well, we got 315 yards total offense, which is pretty good going compared, against that defense. But anything more about the offense you guys want to touch on?
No, not for me, I think. How about you, Dave?
Well, I'm just looking at the stats here. Komet and Loveland. I wondered if, because they are big guys, and I wondered if we could have used them a little bit more to sort of like maybe create a bit more space for Monongai and Swifty. I'm not quite sure really, because I don't know. I was watching Komet on a couple of plays, and there was one that I took the piss out of Loveland a little bit when I put the Pulp Fiction meme where the commentator.
I know what this one.
Yeah. And I don't know what happened on that particular play, but I really do like our tight ends, and I'm really. I'll tell you what, we really are gelling a nice unit together, and no, I'm really positive. And okay, yeah, we lost, and I'm pissed off we lost, especially to them. But you know what, I walked away with that, and I'm thinking, no, we're going to be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to look at a game like Jason's, because Jason's. I think you're just a naturally sort of quite a positive person, Jason. Am I right? I'm naturally a negative, depressive person. So I'm trying to view the game more like in Jason's and Greg Gabriel's way, and try and pick up the positives, because there's always something you can take away positive from a game. But we'll move on to the defense. I mean, Gardner Jr. had 6 tackles, 4 assists, and 1. He had that interception. Bayard had 6 tackles, 1 assist. Sweat had 2 tackles and 1 sack, which was the only sack we had. TJ Edwards, 3 tackles, 1 assist. Booker, 3 tackles, 2 assists. Jarrett, 2 tackles, 1 assist. And Brisker, 2 tackles. Jason, what were your thoughts about the D? The D, and also the defensive backs, because I mean that were quite, because their touchdowns seem to come in big chunk plays. So, what were your thoughts about the defense, man?
23 yards, 45 yards, and 51 yards when their 3 passing touchdowns, and all 3 of them came out of the slot. They were all thrown to a slot receiver. So losing Kyler Gordon early on was bad news essentially. I like Gardner Johnson. He's a great player for us. Got his pick as well, but I think leaving him in that sort of coverage on that 3rd down.
Yeah, got the speed.
Was it whoever got the 2? Was it Dobbs 2 touchdowns, or was it Reed? Jaden Reed, wasn't it? He's a burner, man, and he had no chance with that 3rd down. When everyone's up on the box, quick slant. We're only playing 1 high safety. Gone 51 yards. Just, you couldn't have done anything about it. But would Kyler have been any different? I don't know. Maybe. I think Kyler is one of the better slot corners in the league. But yeah, all 3 of their touchdowns came out of the slot. So it's it was disappointing to give up the big plays, really, wasn't it? That was the main thing. And the biggest one, of course, was that bloody 3rd down and 2 run where they had Jacob bang to rights behind the line of scrimmage, 4 players around him, and he managed to turn it into a 21-yard game. 4 plays later, he's running it in the end zone. So, man, that was unforgivable. That I think 13% missed tackles is our highest of the season this week.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's just bad, man. It was just, that's what cost us. Giving up chunk plays, missed tackles, and a lack of pressure. No pressure up front. Again, just that's got to be our priority, isn't it, in the off-season, is getting a pass. So Brady Jarrett's playing better, I think. He's creating some collapse in the pocket on the inside a bit more. We're getting a bit more of what we wanted to see from him. Dexter has sort of gone okay, but up and down. Sweat is just producing the goods now. I think he's like 8.5 sacks now. I think so. He got his sack, and hopefully he can get into a bit of momentum and sort of carry the rest of the O line. But yeah, Booker needs to sharp too, doesn't he? But yeah, so hopefully we can sort this out. But we know we've given up loads of plays. The injuries have crippled us on defense, which is not an excuse. When Dennis Allen's been getting a huge amount, and it's the turnovers that are keeping us in games, isn't it? So we need to basically keep that up and maybe just try and get players healthy. So
yeah.
Rather than that,
sorry,
too many big plays. Go on.
Sorry, what were your thoughts, Dave?
On the defence, well, me personally, I was hoping for players like Love, Watson, Melton for the Green Bay Packers to have a shit game. And actually, all three of them played pretty well. So the defence done well, sort of like hanging in there. I'm trying to find stat. What was the half-time score, Jason?
14-3.
So okay, yeah. So considering how shit our fence was, well, to be fair, 14 points is keeping us in the game still, isn't it? So
yeah.
So the D line, they struggled. They tried to maintain. Didn't we get an interception in the first quarter?
We did, yeah. Gardner Jr.
Yeah,
Johnson. Johnson.
Oh,
yeah, that was it. That was really that was quite an exciting moment, and I'm thinking we needed something to keep the crowd. As you know, I'm a big fan of like sports psychology, really, and if we could get into their team early and getting that interception was fucking brilliant. It was brilliant. Yeah. We didn't do anything with it, so I think we played quite well, to be honest with you, and keeping Green Bay 28 points at home.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was sort of disappointed about not getting them points off that interception. But about my sort of initial thoughts were the scheme, really, sort of the defensive scheme, like, how deep Bayard was, so like you said, or like Jason, their touchdown, the throwing touchdowns were always in the slot. And you could do that if you got like the safety like 30 yards back. You could have that bit of space if you got the receiver can find a nice soft spot. But once again, not enough pressure on the QB for my liking. It would have been interesting to see what it would have been like if we had Edmonds playing and also Kyler Gordon. We'd had Kyler Gordon in the slot. I think we're really missing Edmonds because he was having a really good year before he got injured. It was good. Yeah, it was good to see TJ Edwards out there, but we still just seem to give up a lot of yards in our defense. We really do, and like Shorty will texting through the game. Can we stop blitzing? On third down because it was so fucking obvious what we were going to do. And it wasn't worth it because that's when we're getting the space behind our defense to get them touchdowns. So I'm in agreement with that, and the tackling. We know we missed quite a lot of tackling. Like you mentioned, Jason, like Dexter missed their running back in that third down play.
That
was a killer. I think Gardner Johnson. Man, he hasn't got much speed on, has he, really? I think I could probably run away from him. Like when Watson scored that touchdown, I mean, he had absolutely no chance of catching that kid. But they kept us in the game, and that were a good thing, especially in the second half where we started. You could feel the sort of flow of the game edging to the Bears a bit, and they kept us in the game, but it's just that we never had the full set of players out in our defense all year. We'd never seen what the defense could be like. But what were your thoughts also about Jalen Johnson, Jason? How he played?
I think he's lacking match sharpness, isn't he? I think he's kind of like he's not back to his best at the minute, I think, which is hopefully is going to come with reps. But yeah, it's not. I think it was that second touchdown, wasn't it, where Brisker was trying to get there. And we saw him on the camera, didn't we? On the pictures, he was annoyed with himself that he didn't get there, but it wasn't his half of the field to cover. He was on the other side of the field and trying to get across. And it looked like the way they described it, again, without knowing the assignments on, from the coaches, they were describing it as if it was Jalen Johnson's responsibility to drop. They were showing like a fake cover 2, and then he was going to drop into that second half of the field, and he just didn't get there. Just annoying. But I think JJ's lacking a bit of match sharpness. And I'm hoping that it will actually come good But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. But yeah, hopefully he'll get back to his best in time for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't massively impressed how Brisker played as well on Sunday night. I don't know. He seemed to let a lot of players past him. His tackling were a bit shit. That touchdown, even though, like you just said, Jason, it wasn't really half the field what he was supposed to be covering, and he lost his kill on the sideline as well. But it's like the overall team would have stunk in the first half, didn't we? Really.
See you later, Brummy. Good to see
you later, Brummy. We need to speak to each other soon, mate. Have a good one. But yeah, it's like we said. If that had been last year, then it would have been a complete whitewash and a complete embarrassment. And to see how we fought back in the second half, especially that O-line when it really started, moving people off the ball and gassing their defense. I mean, and we managed to push them right down to one play. So that's my takeaway. It's like try to look at the positives rather than negatives. We're so much closer to Green Bay. I know it's amazing, isn't it? I took the happy pills today, Jason. I took the happy pills, that's why. But you think about it, that shows how much closer we are to the Green Bay Packers than we would have been when we was last year and the previous God knows how many years. And we're at their place. And, that's what I took away from it, really. I think it's going to be... I think we're going to beat them at Soldier Field. I think we'll beat the Browns and then we'll beat them and then we'll see what happens. But what were your thoughts about the special teams? Because obviously we mentioned that fucking terrible kickoff by Santos, which completely ruined the end of the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's cold. I mean, I couldn't be like training and trying to kick a ball. It's like kicking a brick in it when it's really cold. But that was just a fucking embarrassment what he did. I thought the overall sort of kickoff coverage were all right, but yeah, Santos, that was just a fucking. And they scored off that mistake as well, which is made it worse. What were your thoughts, Dave, about the special teams?
Yeah, nothing fancy. No, apart from that fuck up, not a lot else to say really. Santos's kicking was all right through the night. I think how many kicks? Three of three.
He didn't miss
the field goal, did he?
2 extra points and a field goal, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. Kicking wise, he didn't miss anything on that, which was good. Because, like I say, he had a few weeks where he was a bit inconsistent, but now he's back to being a steady Eddie. No real shots on the special teams for me, mate.
Mm-hmm. What about yourself, Jason?
Just that first one. I think we just need to. I think we can just do better than we seem to give up better field position than we get. You know what I mean? We don't seem to. It's always an advantage. The other teams seem to start on the 30, 35. We're starting on the sort of 25. It always feels a little bit like we don't quite get as many yards on the returns and we don't close down theirs enough. Mm-hmm. So I just think we just improve that sort of stat really and give them a better field position. Obviously, that messed up.
Because of the new rules, maybe? Would that have anything to do with the new rules?
No, just comparing everyone else's. We're just not seem to be. We're not playing it so well, I think.
I mean, it's been an up and down unit all season, hasn't it, really, the special team, especially earlier on. We want to let the opposition return the ball out to like the 35 to the 35, 40-yard line. What about the coaching then? What about Ben Johnson? Did you feel he got a little bit out-coached in the first half? Maybe by Green Bay's defensive coordinator or not? What were your thoughts, Jason?
I don't know about out-coached. I just think their players were up. I think they were up for it. The atmosphere was hostile. It was just a very sort of frenetic game to start with. I think it's just the way it didn't bounce our way. We just obviously I would say not out coached. I mean, certainly they made adjustments second half and really made the most of it. Obviously, the defense came out and stopped them 3 and out from the Green Bay possession opening the second half, and then we went down the field and scored.
I thought personally Ben Johnson looked very calm on the side.
Yes.
I just felt I don't know if maybe not a matter of urgency because he's got so much confidence in the team. Everything was calm, and he didn't look rushed. He didn't let the fans get to him. He didn't look agitated. He looked all right. He looked nice and calm. So whether or not got out coached, I'm not sure. I don't know. Green Bay, like Jason said, Green Bay they were up for it as well. So,
yeah. I mean, we are playing against a team that's been consistently good for years, especially against the Bears. It was quite funny. Did you see the coach's handshake after the game? That was just hilarious. It was literally.
I turned off by then. I literally just sit there. I didn't even watch any of their bloody kneel down victory formation.
Oh, I did, and I saw it on a clip today. Somebody put it on social media or something, and I thought, yeah, that's what I'd have been like as well. I'll be seeing you in a fucking 2 weeks' time, you little fucker. So I'll tell you one thing, it's got a very, very punchable face there, coaches, as we were talking about through the game. It's just got that little smug fucking face where you just want to slap it a bit. But enough of my northern fucking violent thinking.
Aggression there, but I like it.
Yeah. Oh, mate, Dave, you should have seen me when I used to play. I used to get so aggressive that I used to foam at the mouth. It was terrible. But like, I wasn't a great player, but I was like 100%, you know what I mean? Like, I were in it. And then I hated the opposition. But after the game, you know, I'd have a drink. But during game time, man, fucking opposition was my enemy. Fuck you, man. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I think we've sort of gone through all we can regarding the game on Sunday. And now it's that time of the show we like to call Jason's Stat Bomb. So fire away, brother.
Wow, right. There was a few this week. Some of it not related to the Bears because it relates kind of. We're going to go around this circle, which you might notice. All right, I'll do that one first. Actually, is that this is Caleb's 27th consecutive game without throwing multiple interceptions. And he's now the sole leader in the NFL in quarterbacks of consecutive games of not throwing multiple interceptions. He was tied for that record with Jalen Hurts, who, as we know from Monday Night Football, spectacularly threw that away with an awful game. Talking of which, they started tracking play-by-play metrics in 1978, and Jalen Hurts is now the first player, you've probably seen this already, to turn the ball over twice in one play. So he threw a pick, he threw an interception. The guy who intercepted it was running back with it, fumbled it. Jalen Hurts recovered it and then fumbled it himself.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
So he's the first player in NFL history since 1978 when they started tracking these things to turn the ball over twice in the same play.
That's a great stat.
He had a game, and this is where it comes full circle. He had a game where he threw 0 touchdowns and had 5 giveaways. So he turned the ball over 5 times. And that's the first time that's happened in the NFL since Justin Fields did it in 2021.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, exactly. So to
bring that one up, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Another stat relating to that is they've actually this is from on Reddit, a user called JP Analyst who uses StatHead, the database website. And this is that the teams in the NFL have won 128 games, lost 4, and tied 1 when they get 7 sacks, force 3 or more turnovers, and hold the opponent's quarterback to less than 50% completion rate. So the Eagles did that. They had 7 sacks, they had 3 takeaways, and their Justin Herbert's completion rate was 46%, and they still lost the game. That's only the 4th time in history that's happened. The last time was the Saints in 1983.
That wouldn't surprise. We could say we're terrible in the 80s, weren't they? They were absolutely garbage.
They lost to Dallas 21-20.
They were garbage for about 25 years of their first existence. I wonder why. Them and Tampa Bay were just fucking garbage teams, like for years and years and years in the 80s, man. Any more stat bombs, mate?
Yeah. And funny enough, it's only happened 4 times, but twice were in that season, and both in September '83, because the Steelers did the same thing, losing 17-10 to Denver, and then the Jets in 1971, losing to Baltimore. So yeah, it's pretty unusual to get 7 sacks, 3 takeaways, and the opponent quarterback has less than 50% completion rate and still lose the game. So well done them. Hang on, let me go back to this page. Here we go. Right, so there's more to come. So, come here. 27 interceptions now we've got. Sorry, takeaways, 18 interceptions, both leading the league, obviously. And we've now had, because Gardner Johnson got his interception, we've now got 6 different defenders have picked off a pass this year, which is pretty good going. And then rookie Colston Loveland, obviously tight end rookie, has got his 4th touchdown catch this weekend. He's now tied for the lead amongst all rookie touchdowns. Against all rookie tight ends for touchdowns with 4, tied with Tyler Warren and Harold Fannin Jr. So,
good.
So yeah, and then the other one, finally, I'll finish up with, right? Between this Packers game that we just played and the next one is 13 days, which is the shortest gap between the 2 games with the Packers since 1985, which was we hosted them on the Monday on October 21st, and then we visited them 13 days later on November the 3rd. So this is another link to the 1985 Bears, where we played. This is the last time we played the Packers within 13 days, and that's the shortest sort of gap between those 2 games since then.
Awesome. Awesome stat bombs as usual, mate. And also as well, the first time we played the Packers in '85, I think it's when the Fridge scored his first touchdown as well. So that's always, I watched that so many times now, recording a video. But great stat bombs, Jason. You know, I like how you went back as well in a bit of history. But yeah, thank you, mate, for doing that. That were awesome. Let's move on to the next game against Cleveland Browns. Who lost to the Tennessee Titans 29-31 on Sunday. I watched a bit of their sort of condensed game, and I was quite impressed with Sanders at quarterback. I mean, he got 23 out of 42, 364 yards, three touchdowns and 1 interception, and he ran. Yeah, I mean, he rushed as well for 29 yards, and he got himself a TD. What were your initial thoughts, Dave, what's your initial thoughts about the upcoming Cleveland Brown game? What do you think the Bears are going to do, and what you're worried and what you're pro?
I really hope we take so many positives from the game against Green Bay and then we turn it into more positives against the Browns. I don't know too much about them, to be honest with you. How many games have they won? 2 or 3 games? They haven't won that many, have they?
No, they've only won 3.
Only won 3 games, so they're there for the taking. It's at Soldier Field, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes.
So everything's positive towards us at the moment. Saunders, was that his first game?
I think it like his second start, maybe this year. Okay. I believe.
Because I think I read somewhere. I think their coach has now told him he's playing for the rest of the season now. So
sorry, just laughing at Booker's comment. People, hey, Hurts, how bad are you going to play today? Hurts, yes.
Yes.
I like that. But no, look, this is the sort of team we need to be beating. And if the Bears are going to step it up to the next level, we need to batter them, absolutely batter them, get that winning mentality back again. So we're setting ourselves up for the visit of Green Bay. So please, please, please have a good performance and just win.
What were your thoughts, Jason? Or what are your hopes and sort of worries about
dreams? My hopes and dreams for the future.
That's what I'm going to come out with, yeah.
I just want to respond to this comment by Scrolls first. He's saying Hurts and Mahomes combined for more interceptions this week than Caleb has all year.
Wow.
But people are still concerned about his accuracy. Going to there, people are still wanging on about his accuracy, right? I tell you why his accuracy is not as good as it was last year. It's because he's throwing the ball away instead of taking a sack. So if you just hang on to that ball and you'll preserve your accuracy, your passing, but you're going to get hammered by another defender. It's like you can't have both. And I know that isn't the only reason, but it certainly adds to it. And Steve, he agrees. It's a combination of everything. They can all be right at once. He's missed some passes. He makes plays like no one else can. But one of the reasons his completion percentage is down is because he's throwing the ball away much more quickly now instead of taking the sacks. So that's less detrimental to your drive than taking a sack. So it's not the only reason, but it's part of the reason. So I think we're getting obsessed with his bloody completion numbers. Do you know what makes me laugh about it all is that the thing is it just shows where someone is at with their view of a person or a team or whatever, right? When we were shit, right? People were blaming Fields. Fields is rubbish. Look at our record. Wins are suddenly a quarterback stat. Now we're winning football games, but people are not saying, well, Caleb is obviously good because we're winning football games. They're going, they'll pick on something else that isn't so great. That we're winning football games, but he's not very accurate. Who gives a shit? We're winning football games, right? So, and he's in his second year with his third head coach and a new offense. he's going to get better. I have total faith. I'm happy with where we're at, And yes, he's got a lot to work on. But I think the reason Ben Johnson came to Chicago is because he wanted to coach Caleb Williams.
Exactly.
So someone mentioned, was it Evie said earlier, I started it. Rumors of Ben Johnson wanting his own quarterback. He's not given up on him too early. I think he sees too much potential in what he can do. He saw what he did with Jared Goff in Detroit, and Jared Goff is a statue, but he's a great quarterback, and he worked with him. I think he's seen what Caleb's capable of, and he's going to he sees Super Bowl rings. I think that's what he sees. So, yeah, exactly. You're right. I'm not disagreeing. Field is still wrong. He's not. I think we've that ship has sailed, isn't it? The Fields argument.
Let's put that motherfucker to bed, man, because that was getting so tiresome last season. People moaning about Fields and Caleb. It was ridiculous, and thank God that's a year behind us now.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He's building a new offense around Caleb Williams, around what he can do, and he'll get it. He's got stuff to work on. His footwork needs to improve. His timing needs to improve. His accuracy needs to improve. And it'll happen. I'm telling you, it'll happen. We just keep building the team and keep following the process. And I just think there's spectacular things can happen with this team with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. BJ has an emergency option. Bajan, yeah, exactly. There's the reason they signed him for another 2 years because he's a great backup and he ran the offense well in preseason. So yeah, but yeah, I'm done with this kind of accuracy talk. Yes, it'll get better. Jesus Christ, Bears fans, enjoy the ride. We're 9-4 going into December with our own playoff destiny in our own hands. Just enjoy that. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's your sort of most concerning part about playing Brown? I mean, obviously Myles Garrett is on a tear, man. I mean, what's he got, like 18 sacks, has he?
20 sacks. He's on pace for the record, single season record.
Oh, really? He's got 20 sacks already. 20 sacks. And he's an absolute. I can remember seeing a picture of Myles Garrett at high school, and literally were at the same size as he is now at high school. They had a picture where he's sitting like all his teammates were up to like his chest, and he would just natch that big. And I really like him as a person as well, Myles Garrett. You know what I mean? He comes over as a good guy, and he likes dinosaurs, and I really like dinosaurs as well. So we have a bond there for some strange reason. But he's a big worry. But then again, fucking Ozzy didn't let sack, did he, to Parsons on Sunday? Our left tackle. So he's playing well. He didn't let sack up. But I mean, I am sort of worried that they're not, I'm not worried, but hopefully, and I can't see Ben Johnson letting the team get away with it, but I just want them to get back to that intensity and not let the emotional, loss, what they had to Green Bay affect them too much, you know what I mean? Because they have only won 3 games all season, and we've won 9. And we should be beating them. Sanders, he worries me a bit because he's a mobile quarterback. Then again, it was against Tennessee Titans who've only won. They'd only won 1 game before they beat the Browns on Sunday. Yeah,
they lost, exactly. Yeah, their second game.
So I mean, they weren't like they were playing like the fucking us or the Packers or one of the better teams in the NFL. So yeah, I mean. Their defense is very good. I mean, what is their ranking there? Is that the number 1 defense? Is Cleveland?
Against the pass, they do, yeah. Their overall defense in yards per game is second in the NFL. Their defense is
really?
Good. Yeah.
Well, very good defense.
What might match up well for us, mate? What might match up well for us is that their weakness in their defense is their rush defense. Their rush D. They're
right.
13th. They're giving up 107 yards a game, which is 13th in the NFL. So that's very middle of the pack run D. So that could well work in our favour.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of their passing defense, is the best in the NFL, 165 yards per game. And then their overall 272 yards per game, which ranks second in the NFL in terms of yards. The other big issue with them is because their offense is completely shit, if I'm honest. Not very good, shall I say. They're obviously, the field position is a problem for them because whilst they're ranked 1 and 2 in passing and overall defense, they're actually 17th in points conceded. Because of their field position they're giving up. So, hang on, I just want to respond to this little comment from P Nuthead, I don't know how to say that. Is that right? P Nuthead 1. He says he's just discovered our show. Thank you for the hospitality. Native of Chicagoland, 56th season with the beloved Bears. Congrats, man. Great to have you lads on the team. Yeah, we're British Bears fans, fans from over this way, all from the sort of 84, 85 area where Walter Payton and that defense lit the league up. We've got the Bears fans everywhere. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Peanut. And
cheers for joining us. And it always makes it a bit more. It's great having British fans, but I always think it makes it quite special when people who live in Chicago watch the show, because that means we're saying the right things and we know what we're on about.
Charles is in the chat as well. Just say hello to him.
Hi, Charles, mate. How you doing, buddy?
Booker says that Emmitt Smith right now would put up 128 yards on the Browns' run D.
I could put up 128 yards because I played running back against the Browns.
Yeah, that's their weakness, is their run defense. But other than that, they're solid in pass. Obviously, they're second in the NFL with sacks at 44, behind Denver, who've got an insane 55. Man, the Broncos D is insane.
Well, that's who the Packers are playing next start. Though the Packers are playing.
Yes. And we'll talk about that after. We'll talk about this next week coming up after our game. We'll talk about what's coming up. But Garrett's got 20. He's a game wrecker. If you were going to go into a laboratory and design a pass rusher, you would produce Myles Garrett.
Oh,
he is a game wrecker. So they'll account for him. We faced Max Crosby. We faced Hutchinson at Detroit. We faced some of the best pass rushers like Micah Parsons. Mm-hmm. So Johnson knows what he's doing, and I have like what you said earlier. I've got no doubt whatsoever that he'll have this team ready for this game on Sunday.
It's got to do
none whatsoever because we're in the playoffs now. If we win, it's in our hands entirely. So this is where we're at.
This will show how good our coaching staff is. It's like when we sort of turn around the rush defense against Washington this year. We were. Allowing, teams to rush all over us, and we managed to sort of swing that around. And I think as well, I think the players are going to be really up for this game. Really do. So, anything more you want to talk about the Cleveland Browns?
I'll just run through their last game quickly. Again, it's their offense that's their weakness, obviously. Shadur's been named, Sanders has been named their starting quarterback for the rest of the season.
Did he get 412 yards on Sunday?
That's exactly what I was going to say. They got 412 total yards, so not bad, but it was against the Titans, who are,
that's crap.
Shit. They only managed 61 yards on the ground at an average of 3.1. So again, hopefully we can hold up to their running game and get after them. So their offense ranks 30th in yards per game. 29th in the pass, 27th in the rush with 95 yards per game, and then 17.2 points, which is 29th in the NFL. So they are not a good team. We're favoured at home for I think the second time we're favourites this season. So now you would expect we expect to. Well, Scrolls is saying he expects Garrett to show off on Sunday because he wants to be a Bear. He also knows how important Caleb is, so expect a toss sack if he gets home.
Oh dear.
Alex is my name. Jumped in. Hello, sexy people. Go on, mate.
Yeah. So, what sort of game or tactics are we going to play against these guys? Are we going to go for the run game, or
I think
are we going to do a bit of showboating?
Yeah. No, they'll run game, play action. That's what Ben Johnson builds on, and that's what they'll do. And if they keep having success with the run game, which the stats say we might, then I'll just keep it going. You've got to throw the ball occasionally just to keep the defense honest, haven't you? But other than that, I think that's where they'll focus is the run game, just try and negate the threat of Garrett because he is a beast. He is an absolute beast.
It's like, sorry, Jason. It's like
hello, Carl. Good to see you, man. He's checked in. Can you guys talk about the Bears Pro Bowl? I just put out a lovely tweet. You could show on screen. We could, if any of us had any idea what we're doing with tech. We're not like you, Carl. We don't know how to fucking share tweets. I'm not on Twitter anyway.
I don't know what's it mean by Bears Pro Bowl.
I don't know. They just put out a tweet anyway. You're on X, aren't you, Dave? You want to have a quick look, see if you can find it. It might be something of interest, but there's no way I can share it because I'm a fucking Luddite. Whoa, King Booker World saying next weekend, hot take, Loveland 3 touchdowns. Ooh, I'll take that.
Like it, King Booker. Like it, mate.
So with tight ends, do they have their first foot? Loveland seems to be getting all the glory at the moment over Komet. Is there a ranking system with TEs, or do they just use them when they need them?
They're used differently. I think they're used differently. Komet is an absolute beast in the run blocking game. He's got good hands, but Loveland is a pass. He is like your classic mismatch. I think is it a Y or flex? I can't remember which one they call it. he's the guy you put in the slot because it just creates an enormous mismatch. He's too big for and too fast. He's too fast for linebackers, and he's too big for cornerbacks. So he's your classic mismatch, and he's got great hands. So they're using them differently as well. That's how my view is that Komet is excellent in the run game. Loveland is an absolute legend in the pass game. His hands are amazing. I think he's probably got the best pass catching hands on the team at the minute, from what I'm seeing. He looks great, but he's still great in the run game too. So it's just the way they're being used, mate. I think that's in my view. That's what I'm seeing.
Enough.
Yeah.
What you were talking about earlier with DJ Moore having a few moans and groans. I've not heard nothing from Komet, so I don't know. Maybe they're just happy playing the way they're playing. Okay, you've answered my question. Thanks.
That's all right. Yeah. It's just the way they're using them. I think Komet's still good in the catching, but
he's awesome.
I think they're a great one too. They're an absolute brilliant tandem. If they develop those two, I think Smiley's actually contributed more than I expected. So there we go. Carl's done it for us. Thank you very much.
All right.
Pro Bowl vote rankings. I did see something about that. I'm struggling to read that. So this is help me out here then, Carl. Go on, jump in, man. Just jump in and tell us quickly. Carl, if you're there, just explain. Show us what we got.
No, it's not linking up.
He's muted. Oh, here he comes. What's going on? He's in here somewhere. I can see he's doing stuff. Private chat. One sec. All right, you're going to join us. But basically, it's an update on the, I think, the number of votes that our players are getting in the Pro Bowl voting. So he's going to show us. Which is, it'd be great. I know that we've got a lot of players in. He's got a lot of players in. In the voting this year, we're getting a lot more naturally because we're winning games and we're top of the league in takeaways, that kind of stuff. So, where we got? Whoa, Charles, an update on the teeth, man. This is brilliant. So Charles is saying, I got my top teeth and I was able to pay them for the bottoms today, thanks to BCP. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, on the Thursday show, the American guys were on their show at 8 p.m. Central. Is it? Yeah, 8 p.m. Central.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Central, yeah.
And they ran a GoFundMe because Minister Charles had a health issue, and he was given some medication that basically made his teeth fall out. So, and he couldn't afford to get all of his teeth done top and bottom. So he managed to get his insurance to pay for the top, but couldn't get the bottom. So Shorty, who owns the channel, runs the channel, started a GoFundMe for everyone, and all the amazing people in this community putting up enough money that Charles Johnson could pay for his bottom set of teeth so that he can actually have proper food again rather than milkshakes. Nice.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Brilliant. So they've done it to start the bottoms today. So that's brilliant, man. That's good news.
Yeah,
a massive thank you to everyone in this community channel, the channel community that sort of did that. So yeah, I'm really happy that I contacted Shorty the day after the show, and he said I was too late, but they'd already got the money. So that's
I mean, I remember watching like a replay of the show the day after, and you can see money, people putting money in, and I'm really happy for you, Charles, man. What I was going to suggest, Charles, would you should have just come over to England. You could have got them done on the NHS instead. Because we're lucky we have universal healthcare in this country, which is a blessing, and it's something which I'm really, really proud of about this country. We have universal healthcare, so we don't have people who are against that situation where you have to rely on insurance to pay for your health. You would have got it for, well, not free. You would have got it for your taxes through the NHS. But yeah, well done everybody in the BCP community for doing that. It was just like as kind as when people put money in to help me get over to Chicago a couple of years ago. So yeah, we're sort of blessed with all that. And well done, Shorty, for setting up the GoFundMe, and Charles, you'll have to come on and take a picture of your new choppers, mate.
Yes,
and
show
your smile.
Nashers.
Yeah, show us your new smile, mate. Right, I think it's time for predictions.
No, wait on. I haven't finished with the Browns yet, mate.
Go on, man.
I think, Carl's in here. Let me know when you're ready, Carl. Here he goes. We're going to just go through this Pro Bowl. Got to be quick, boys. Well, we have or you have. Just do it. Just show us, Carl. He's the wizard who can share screens and do all that kind of stuff.
All right. Can you boys hear me?
Yeah, that's it. We're good.
All right. Got to be quick, lads. In it. So anyway, so you can see the name of the player here is who the player is, their respective position, and their positioning in the fan Pro Bowl voting votes. Okay, so among all players amongst the fans, Kevin Byard and Joe Thuney are the number one vote getters as far as votes from the fans. Very important to note that the fans don't dictate who gets in. It's a combination of the fans and then I think media personalities and then NFL personalities as far as coaches and whatnot. But it's pretty outstanding to see every single player here. I mean, half of the team is top 3 in their position as far as the names on this list. Even guys like DeAndre Swift, Torrey Taylor, Jaquan Brisker, maybe they're not for sure Pro Bowlers, but they're recognized, right?
Yeah.
Just looking at some names, chrome doming here. Colson Loveland, he is behind Tyler Warren, but again, a rookie in top 10 for voting in the NFL. That's pretty outstanding. Caleb Williams all the way down in 8th. Darnell Wright being 4th. I think he's 3rd in the NFC. I may be wrong on that. And then you literally have guys like Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson kind of fighting each other for positioning. So very, very, very possible that you're going to see the interior NFC offensive line be the 3 new players that the Chicago Bears acquired. So very, very outstanding, really good stuff. The Bears have a lot of talent is the bottom line here.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Carl. Appreciate it, man.
Cheers, mate.
All right, gentlemen, I'm out of here. Have a good show.
Take
Cheers,
care, mate.
buddy.
Cheers, man.
Basically, the Bears are getting the recognition that they probably deserve from some of the performance of this team, man.
Nation, right, man. I think he was like number 2 in the votes.
So Caleb is a top 10 quarterback in the eyes of the fans.
Right.
Who would have thunk it, huh? Imagine what he's like when he's at the top of his game in a couple of years when he's absolutely flying this offense.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, all I say is Baker Mayfield. Give
Yeah, there's so
people
many
that.
quarterbacks.
Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. They were all written off. And look at how they're playing now.
Exactly.
So people just have a bit of patience.
Exactly. So to go back to the Browns, yeah, just quickly for their last game, they were, again, we've got to caveat with the fact that it was the Titans that were playing, but they were 3 for 3 in the red zone. Not so good was they were 6 of 14 on the third down, so that's something we can exploit, hopefully. And they gave away 7 penalties for 50 yards. Let's say 412 total yards, but only 61 on the ground. So their offense ranks sort of 27th, 29th, and 30th in all the categories.
Right.
Against our defense is our weakness, as we know, largely because of injuries, but all of our positions rank basically above them in terms of like the NFL. So we sort of measure, whilst our defense is not the best, it measures up favorably in comparison of like how we sit on their offense. But again, it's a week-to-week game. We know that any given Sunday. The good news is that hopefully, obviously, our offense can have a good day against their D. So we know that their defense is brilliant in terms of like second overall in yardage. Like I said, 272 yards per game. Pass defense is number 1, but their run defense is 13th at 107 yards, and they give up a lot of points. They're 17th, giving up 23 points per game. So we have an 8th ranked points per game offense. So rushing game is number 2 in the NFL, as you know, only behind the Bills by a fraction. 14th ranked passing offense for a total of 369 yards per game, which is ranked 5th in the NFL. So, yeah, could be a good game. We're favoured by the bookies for I think it's like the second time in the season. And I think coming home off of a loss, knowing this is an important game, I think we should have a good result. Turnovers, obviously, we're leading the league. Cleveland are actually -1 in turnover differential. So they've actually but both their numbers are high. So they've given the ball away 17 times, but 16 takeaways. So their offense has given away 11 interceptions. So again, this is something we can exploit potentially. So we know we got ball hawks in the secondary, man. We lead the league in interceptions. They've given 11 interceptions away, which is the joint 7th highest in the NFL this season. So they put the ball in danger. So we shall see. But I'm feeling good, man. Johnson will have them fired up. They're not a good team. We've got to be aware of Myles Garrett, but I think we can make hay on this game. Let's get the division title back. But sorry, quickly, like we mentioned earlier, right? What matters in our division, right, is that the Packers now go to Denver. They go to the Mile High Stadium to play Denver, and then the Lions are also they're away at the LA Rams. So those guys have got tough games to play. And we've got the Browns at home. So, maybe I'm not going to say anything, but that's the situation.
Well, definitely looks more favourable for us, doesn't it, compared to the two games what the Packers and the Lions have got? And
exactly. Would you rather be going away to Denver, or would you be rather playing the Browns at home? I think I know the answer.
Browns any day, mate. Even just going to Denver just because you're a mile high up with the option and all that sort of thing. It does make a difference. But let's get to predictions. So, what's your sort of prediction day for the scores on Sunday?
Well, we're pretty consistent on it. We always go for a Bears win, don't we? So definitely a Bears win. I reckon we're going to be hitting around the mid-30s, and I think we'll keep the Browns down to the early 20s, I reckon. They'll be there or thereabouts.
That's what I was thinking. What do you think, Jason?
I was going to be a little less. I think it's going to be a slightly more low-scoring game. I think Garrett is going to cause us some trouble. I think we won't get our way with him. There we go. Carl is saying, I'm beyond excited to see my favourite offensive lineman, Ozzy Trapillo, get a chance to show off his pass protection against the best D in the world, Myles Garrett. Yeah, fair enough. Good. Yeah. I was actually going quite similar to Alex's my name out here. I was going to say 27-17 to the Bears. I think that's what I went for last week. I have to pull numbers out my arse, but I just think I think we will get a success on the ground. So I think that's probably quite somewhere around this mark. I think sort of 24-27 to 17. I don't think we'll stop them because of we give up plays. We'll get takeaways. I think we'll get interceptions. I was going to say 2 interceptions. So I'm going to say 27-17. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm thinking more like Dave, really. I'm thinking.
You're thinking blowout.
35-21 to the Bears. I think we're going to score them. Like you said, Jason, I think our defensive backs are going to pick off Sanders, and then let us put the pressure on it. So I'm hoping that the Bears' offense can get back on track, score some decent, get some decent scores in, run the ball at them, run at Garrett, and also as well, I think our defense is going to pick Sanders off. He had a good game, but he was playing against the Tennessee Titans. I just think we can rattle him with our. Hopefully, we can get some pressure on him because that's the name of the game. We sweat, but I just think our defensive backfield could make a bit of hay on Sanders on Sunday. So that's why I'm thinking about that score. Is there anything in the chat you'd like to bring up, Jason? Is there anything in the chat?
Carl has mentioned. I know. Obviously, we all know he's a big Michigan man. Mason Graham, he's been playing well, hasn't he? The D tackle that they picked up with. 3rd overall or something like that. Peanut Head says we win if we stick with the run. Here's one from the chat. He's like, I don't know if it's all show on the screen, but Shorty sent me the picture that Minister Charles sent him of his new teeth. I don't know if you can pick that up.
Oh, wow, yeah. Looks like a different guy altogether.
Look at that handsome motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
Brilliant.
You can't say that. He's a minister. You can't say shit like that. Yeah, you're opening the trap door, mate, saying shit like that. But
Steve Rogers in the chat says, I think the Bears come out of this week and turn the corner, the beginning of greatness. Blow out the Browns, make a statement game, and make the Packers wet the bed knowing we're coming for them. Oh, let's go. I'm happy with that, Steve.
Love it. Chat gets me so pumped.
They do. They just get me fired up, man. As if I needed any help. But yeah, Booker's saying the same. The Bears are going to play angry, and for the first time, we'll see what the future will be. Bears 38, Browns 17. Let's fucking
nice
go.
one, Kim Booker.
Yeah, brilliant. Love it. I'm with you guys. Let's do it. Let's Johnson will have them ready. The Bears will be ready to make a statement after that, and then sort of get rolling into the Packers coming to our place where we make them pay.
Yeah. Brilliant. So,
right.
I think we'll wrap the show up, fellas. I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. You make me sure. We love bouncing off you, man. Absolutely love you. Dave, fantastic as usual, mate. You are the pin-up of the show, as you know.
I guess the ladies in the views, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. We're hoping to get the female views in for Dave. And Jason, awesome stats as usual, mate. It's always a pleasure to talk to you boys about the Bears. And I'm so happy for Minister as well, man. because it's a life-altering thing, and that's such a cool thing what Shorty set up, and thank you to everybody who contributed towards Charles Johnson getting his new choppers, as we like to say over here. But yeah, I like to say I think we're gonna beat the Browns, and then let's get a bit of a revenge back on Green Bay and our home turf. But yeah, I just want to say again, thank you. No. I haven't visited the USA for a while, mate, to be honest with you.
I have no interest in the soccer. I hate it. It's shit. Yeah.
It'll be boring as usual.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to say subscribe to the channel, like the show, because it's really nice for our egos. And I want to say, fellas, that another great show with you two boys. And let's just end it with a big fat bear down. Bear down.
Bear down, bro.
We are all bears. We are all bears. We are all bears. The British Bears, the British Bears, the British Bears.